What up, y'all? So a question that I get quite a bit actually is, and it's a good question to actually ask, is what do I use for compost or for soil? I guess I'll just have to tell you guys just because I'm not doing any composting right now. I normally kind of do that kind of stuff, my bigger compost towards the beginning of a season. Things that I normally like to use for my soil mixtures are peat moss, coconut coir. Yes, I like to use both of them if I can get both of them. Out here we get really dry, and I find that coconut coir actually holds moisture in a lot more than peat moss, but the mixture of the two of them seem to work out almost perfectly. Perlite, I like to use whatever kind of compost that is readily available. In my area we find a lot of cow as well as a lot of horse. I preferably will use the horse manure just because I'm not really worrying about any kind of, at least for the places I go, I'm not really worrying about steroids or anything like that they might give to their animals. It's just their own personal horses, so I don't have to worry about it. I like to use rock dust as well as a lot of worm casting. And then throughout the course of the year, I'll be amending, and that's kind of what I do a lot of, and that's what I was going to show you guys today. Today we're going to be doing more so compost team. And I'm going to be using a lot of these different elements here. There's actually one more. So basically what I'm going to be using, or what I'm going to be doing, is compost team. Most of the plot, if not all of it. These are going to be my dry ingredients, right? So we have worm castings, some organic fertilizer. We also have some kelp. My wet ingredient this time around, what I'm going to be doing is using some, I'm going to be using some kelp emulsion. This right here is mainly for the minerals that I'm going to be putting, that I want inside of my beds. Very important. Last time we talked just about the NPK. This has way more of the minerals that you're going to find on the periodic table. So I want to try to give my vegetables or my soil as much mineral content as I possibly can, so that it's going to be available for whatever plants I actually end up planting in that row. Worm castings, we're going to be using these guys mainly just for the bacteria, for the microorganisms. This is like you straight across your NPK 444. For a lot of my fruiting crops are actually fruiting right now, and then are going to start fruiting. I kind of want to get that in there. The seaweed kelp is pretty much more of just this, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of throwing this in there because I have it. And this is how we're going to mix it up. This is actually some scrap from insect netting. You can use a paint bag, actually a paint straining bag. Actually a really good thing to have around. I normally use those, but couldn't find them right now. You can get those definitely at your local hardware store. Got all this stuff at my local nursery supply store. I normally do say go to Home Depot and stuff like that, and I normally say that just because of ease, and I know like normally Home Depot and Lowe's are readily available, but guys, you really, you should try to check out a lot of your local spots, just because they're going to have a lot of things there that Home Depot just won't. Normally better quality things as well. Home Depot, it doesn't suck to go there by any means. I do try to get to the local shops a little bit better, just because they are more, because I find that they specialize more in what it is that I want, and they have a more variety, or better variety, like I was kind of getting at before. Anyhow, let's make the mixture, Zebo. This is right about 2 cups or 4 cups, I'm sorry, of worm castings. I'm gonna use, I might just go ahead and use all of it. Screw it, that's cool. There's really no overdoing it with any of the stuff that I'm using right now, so don't sweat it. You can't burn up the plants. Worm castings, like I was saying before, is great for all the microorganisms. It's also great for pH building, or I'm sorry, like a pH buffer, if you will. If something's too low, too high, it kind of helps to get in the middle. And from here on out, guys, I'm pretty much just going to be using handfuls. My hand is, or my fistful is right about a cup. So if that's any help for y'all, you know what I'm saying? If that helps you guys out. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing for this stuff. Actually, I might give this guy a little bit more. Go. And then I'm just going to tie it up. All right, so what I'm going to do is just tie this off, make it simple and plain with the little rubber band action. I didn't feel like looking for a paint strainer bag, y'all. I know they're around here, but it's not where they're supposed to be. Got that little bomb going, little tea bag. So yeah, guys, just keep this in mind as well. I'm using pretty much just a store-bought type of thing. That's kind of the vibe I'm going with right now. You can do a lot of this stuff making it yourself. There's a couple cool accounts that you should probably want to check out if you are into the microbiology that goes on inside your soil to make your soil thrive, therefore making your garden thrive. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, 3 accounts you probably want to check out. One, my homie Stephen Cornett over at Nature's Always Right. He does a lot for YouTube, actually on YouTube in this area. I haven't seen him do too much of it in Instagram, but definitely on YouTube you can check him out, and it's probably better because he gets into a lot of detail. Big City Gardener, another dude that you want to check out. I've seen him do a couple things when it comes to the microorganisms. And then, dude, this cat that just blew me away, Marco is Growing. You definitely want to check that cat out. He'll basically break down how you can build all this stuff for yourself utilizing your own ingredients, which I always think is probably the best. But if you're in a pinch, this stuff works. I was saying before, I got all this stuff from my local nursery supply store, but if you do have to go to Home Depot at the end of the day, or Lowe's, with any big box store you have to go to, don't hesitate to get there, y'all. The most important thing is that you're growing. That's all that really matters, right? At Home Depot, you would normally find, I believe, like the Kellogg brand or something like that. It's going to do a pretty good job for you as well. So the wet ingredients, it's going to take 2 of these. Our spent water that we use for our microgreens and our salad washes and all that stuff is what we're using, but I normally have that pumped over into a 50-gallon container. Right now it's not quite filled all the way up. It's right about 40 gallons is what I'm kind of guesstimating. So I'm going to put 60 ounces of the kelp in here. Boom. It's times that times 2, y'all. And then we got our tea bag here. Let's go, Zebo. Oh yeah, y'all, we got Zebo rocking the glass. So what's up, Zebo? You said it's up through the piece. Mm-hmm. Gotta stay cool. Mm-hmm. Gotta stay cool. All right, y'all. So here's a 55-gallon tub. This is where we catch all of the microgreen salad water. We try to use it, I don't know, at least more than once. So we use it for the wash, and normally we'll use it for out here in the field as compost tea. Also use it for washing trays and stuff like that. Try to get as much water or uses out of the water as you possibly can. Jump that in there. That's one of those. We'll go get another one, and then we're going to drop our tea bag in there. I'm gonna let it brew for a little while, but not too long, y'all. Believe it or not, man, I know there's people out there that like to brew these things overnight. A lot of times I'll just brew them within a matter of, for a couple of hours, if that, maybe even an hour. I'll brew this stuff. Even if I do that, sometimes I'll just dump the stuff in here and then immediately put it onto the plot. Hasn't really hurt anything. Now the biggest thing is it actually working? I had to say that it is, because when I come back out, my plants normally look that much happier. Kind of looks like they look after it rained. That's how I kind of know that these things are working. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna let this thing brew just for a little bit. We'll come back and we'll show you guys how we put this stuff on. So what we have down here is a valve that is connected to a hose that runs into the transfer pump. So basically the way it works is that this water, for the most part, is gravity fed into that transfer pump. So it's just kind of making it a little bit easier for this to be up here and pulling that water. If you guys do decide to go this route, I have noticed so far utilizing this type of a wand, it's not exactly the cleanest. So you might want to kind of dress for the occasion, if you will. These types of wands will allow you to do a spray or shower But like I said before, this one is actually broke, so it's not allowing me to do that. Nevertheless, it sure beats the hell out of me having to use a watering can to do this. Also really nice though, the things that you can dial in the pressure, the amount that you want to come out, whatever. That's always dope. So I'm pretty much just doing the exact same thing that I would be doing had I been using my watering can. And that's pretty much just giving it a root drench. See down here? Yeah, if you get yourself a better wand, you more than likely it won't be as messy as what this one is. Mending your soil. There's a couple different ways that you can do it. I find that using compost tea, however, is for the most part one of the fastest ways that I can actually get food to my plants, seeing that everything is already in a liquid form for the most part, and that is how your plants want to take up their nutrients. That's kind of the only way they can take up the nutrients, is for it to be all water soluble. I will also, or we have also, put a lot of the same amendments, the dry ones, in these beds as well, and those are just going to be breaking down over time. That's the biggest thing when you're dealing with organic. It's not going to be a fast acting type of a thing like with your Miracle Grow or anything like that. So you want to look for like the little subtle hints, like I said, I kind of can tell that mine's working, or the composting that I've just done is working pretty well, just because it mimics, or my plants mimic the way they do after it's rained. So that's how I know that something is happening, they're taking effect. Everything that's in the solid form has to break down before it gets taken up to your plants. So just kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, man, I hope this video helps. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Deuces.
Deuces. He said deuces. He ain't letting you see his beautiful face today.
Not today.
Not today.